South Africa has urged the United Nations Security Council to be guided by the regional approaches of the African Union and IGAD on its future interventions in Sudan. The Council met for its regular session on the situation in Darfur, where the United Nations has a peacekeeping mission, but developments at a federal level were also highlighted after the removal by the military of long-standing President Omar al-Bashir. Several Council members endorsed a call by the African Union's Peace and Security Council that threatened to revoke Sudan's membership if the self-appointed Military Transitional Council does not establish a civilian government by the end of this month.
Council was briefed by the head of the UN mission, who informed members that UNAMID remained vigilant, continued with its robust posture, and that UN staff had not been targeted during the military takeover.
However, protests continue in Khartoum and other parts of the country, with a sit-in at the Sudan Armed Forces headquarters demanding the immediate transfer of power to civilians. It is worth noting that the Military Transitional Council has since initiated dialogue with the Declaration of Freedom and Change, the umbrella body of the protesters and other elements of the opposition, on a feasible transitional mechanism that would be all-inclusive and representative of all Sudanese interests.
South Africa said it was critical for the Sudanese people to seize this opportunity to address all their current differences and ensure inclusion for all.
The international community should rally behind the aspirations of the Sudanese people as they found one another and as they figure out a pathway to the future of their country. 4, the Council, in its engagement in Sudan, should be guided by the regional approaches through the African Union and IGAD.
Council member Kuwait, among others, cautioned Council intervention, arguing that developments in Sudan remained an internal matter, while others urged the Transitional Military Council to meet the demands of the protesters for wholesale changes in government and a return to civilian rule. Germany welcomed the strong intervention of the African Union.
We echo this clear political message from the region, and we call upon all actors in Sudan to move in this direction with determination, with urgency, and above all, without violence.
Sudan is at a crossroads. The Transitional Military Council faces a choice. It should listen to the Sudanese people, respect their legitimate demand for civilian rule, and enable the transition to a system which respects human rights, democracy, and fundamental freedoms, and delivers accountability. Making that choice would mean a new Sudan. It would be a Sudan respected in the international community of nations.
Sudan's envoy also called the matter an internal one, arguing there was no justification for discussing the matter in the UN Security Council, this despite the AU-PSC's unambiguous deadline for a return to civilian rule. Sherwin Bryce-Pease, SABC News, New York.